Micah, thank you. And we want to get on over to meteorologist Amber Torti because Amber, there is still some current weather situation happening that you need to tell us about right now.
Yeah, we've still got some stuff to talk about. We have a couple of thunderstorms down near I-94, especially around the Kalamazoo area. So a severe thunderstorm warning has popped up right around Kalamazoo. If we can get a look at that warning, that's going to be lasting until 4:45. This includes areas such as Comstock, Kalamazoo, Portage, Galesburg, Vicksburg. In this area already, there have been some reports of dime to nickel-sized hail. Now, there's the potential for this thunderstorm to produce up to an inch of hail in diameter and also maximum wind speeds up to 60 miles an hour. The airport down in Kalamazoo has already reported peak wind gusts up to 45 miles an hour. So there have definitely already been some impacts out of this storm. Let's get a closer look at our hail product just to see what we can observe that inside the storm, there's definitely that potential for some hail to form. Up to an inch is what this current warning is showing. And then we can take a closer look at rotation because we want to get a look at this too. It does look like we've got some of the green and red next to each other, but I don't see a lot of rotation. Looks pretty broad at this point, so we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. But we do want to make sure that we're really highlighting where this warning is and to make sure that everybody is updated in this area, because if you are in Galesburg, anywhere really east of Kalamazoo, between Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, that's where we are seeing this storm currently, and that is where you want to make sure that you are getting to your basement. So this warning will be staying in effect for the next about 30 minutes or so. At this point, it is traveling primarily to the east, and it's doing so at about 30 miles an hour. So there is that potential for hail that could be up to a quarter in diameter, not a quarter inch to an inch in diameter, but the size of a quarter, like the coin. I want to put a track on this to just show you how quickly it's traveling and where it's going to be arriving to your neighborhood pretty soon here. So right now it's moving close to about 30 miles an hour, mainly to the east, but a little bit of an east-northeasterly direction. So if you're in Climax, that'll be closer to about 4:21. So just about 6 minutes from now is when that storm will be arriving to your doorstep. Battle Creek, that'll be closer to about 4:30. Brownlee Park, 4:38. Marshall Township, closer to 4:53. Now a little bit past 5 o'clock is when that would get closer to Marengo Township. So this will continue to track further east into Calhoun County not too long from now, but right now it is still only in Kalamazoo County. So at this point, hail does look to be the main concern from this storm specifically. We're seeing some pretty heavy rain out of it as well, which we know, of course, is not great considering how much rain we've had recently. There are also some flood alerts that are going on down near Vicksburg along the Portage River. But at this point, it does look like a lot of that rain is further north of that area. So that's definitely some good news for folks down there. Now, still, we are looking at the potential for some hail that could be meeting severe criteria at this point. Nickel and dime-sized hail is what we have seen so far, what we've seen some reports of at very least, with a maximum wind gust reported up to 45 miles an hour at the Kalamazoo airport. So it's heading to the east once again. This is going to be impacting areas that are east of Kalamazoo, mainly getting towards the Battle Creek area. So this will be arriving to your doorstep within the next about 30 minutes or so. As it continues to track further east and once it leaves our area, thankfully, we are going to be looking at a much quieter evening ahead of us. So once a lot of this does clear out, we're not looking at a lot going on behind it, but still, we don't want to forget about that severe thunderstorm warning that we're seeing in Kalamazoo County at this point either. So this is going to be important to pay attention to near I-94 specifically. That is where we're seeing this warning in effect currently. So looking at multiple people that would be affected by this, there are some more populated areas through this region. Just to the south of Gull Lake, it looks like it's going to be missing Gull Lake just by a little bit. And then off to the east, Battle Creek, Sunrise Heights, likely to even travel over towards Marshall. Those are going to be the areas where you want to make sure that you're paying attention to this storm as it's heading in your direction, because as it does arrive, we're looking at hail that's big enough that you want to make sure that you are not outdoors. You might want to get to your safe spot, especially with winds that are on the stronger side. Once again, getting to Battle Creek closer to about 4:30, Marshall just shy of 5 o'clock, and it will continue its track further eastward. So if you're in any of those spots where this storm is about 10-15 minutes away, I'm going to give you the go-ahead. You can pull your car into your garage if you're able to do that pretty quickly. But if this storm is right on your doorstep, rather, you want to just make sure that you're staying inside and out of the storm entirely. This is going to carry some pretty strong winds. We are seeing still the concern for possibly a couple of thunderstorms that could be a bit stronger out of this. Really just this one thunderstorm mainly is what we'll be tracking as we head into this evening. But even then, Not a huge amount of concern at this time when we're talking about this storm. I'll throw up our hail product again because that really does look to be our main concern. It looks like we've got a little bit of a hail core now just east of Galesburg and just north of Climax. Once again, that's going to continue traveling east, and with the exact direction that it's heading in, it does look like it could be arriving to the Battle Creek area. So we'll put another track on specifically the hail core just to look at when it's going to be arriving to you. So Battle Creek closer to about 4:30, 4:35-ish. So you have just about 10, 20-ish minutes from now, I would say, before it's going to be arriving to you. So I would definitely say that you want to make sure you have that severe weather plan in place, being very cautious with the severe thunderstorm warning. And of course, we'll continue to track this for you. One last thing before we can turn things back to what we've been looking at, I do want to show you some velocity because it looks like we have a little bit of broad rotation. Right now, this isn't necessarily standing out to me very dramatically, I would say, but hey, there is a little bit of broad rotation. So this is something that we will be keeping a very close eye on, as well as the folks at the National Weather Service. They were the ones that issued that warning, of course, and we will be keeping a very close eye as well and keeping you updated if there's any more information that we need to share with you. Back to you, Elena.